Damn it.
You're like, what?
Beautiful.
Trying to deep throat.
Don't worry, you're not on camera. I'll put you on now. There you go.
Oh, try to deep throat it right now, Dougie.
Let's not do that.
Actually, you know what? Now that I realize it, so when we get everything set up, I'm actually gonna bring back my monitor, like the thing, because you're gonna want it for because they won't be able to see it. They won't be able to see themselves. Yeah, so it'll be handy for that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
You want to see yourself? I don't know.
Sometimes,
you guys.
I mean, if you don't want to, but some people do just because they, I don't know. Sometimes people just like to see what.
That's
how
just
they
what
look
it
like.
is.
Yeah.
Amel, you still cold?
I'm getting warmer.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'll the door.
See,
but now we're being hotboxed.
Science. It's
Science.
Science.
I'm sure I'll be that.
Speaking of science,
What you
Dr.
got?
Evil, what did we learn about girls today?
What the fuck?
Nothing. What do you mean?
Hey, my right
No?
side's not.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay.
It'll be fixed. Yeah.
We learned that they are irrational beings. That's what we learned today.
Where's the science behind this?
The science behind it is behind their hormones, Hector.
Oh Jesus.
Their hormones are
let's
all
get
over
to
the
this one.
fucking
All right,
place.
all right, Dr. Agbosh.
That's why I got along
How
with
many
my
doctors
mom.
we got in
You know,
this
those are
fucking
irrational
podcast?
here. I think you're irrational, Armo. Let's talk about that. Pretty fucking irrational.
Listen, I have the best explanation for this. Okay,
All right, sure.
While
Hit
you
it.
guys were sucking cock
Oh, yeah.
and getting
All
extra
right,
credits,
real scientific there.
I was getting shots, and Dr. Evil can protest to this. He
Protest?
poked me in the ass. Poked
We
me in the
can
ass
protest
with a fucking shot for like
Pause. What were you poking him in the ass with?
a fucking 25 gauge 1.5 inch needle.
T400 or what?
I don't remember what it was.
No,
Some
it was
kind of-
it was a fucking combination of all these
Damn, bro,
suicidal
that-
terrorist fucking steroids.
That is real friendship right
So
there,
the
man.
reason I had these Emil's right. You know, Emil's right.
What?
but this is why.
Irrational, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
100%.
I was more irrational, but you can also claim to this. I've actually calmed down reasonably a lot more in the past year and a half.
Relatively, yeah.
A lot. Considering how much I was like, dude, I would fight every single one of you guys all day, every day, all the time. It was like ridiculous. And that was 100% because of hormones. 100%.
I don't know about that, but
No, it was.
I think there was
Because
some deeper.
No, it was hormones and like just being in prison, coming out of prison and shit, being in Gen Pop with you guys.
Listen, I will tell you though, it is actually really
With the
really
civvies.
interesting. I did not see this happening. Like this whole thing, this podcast, we've been doing this for like over a year now. When you first told me about this, I was super skeptical, but I was down because the way you approached me was pretty genuine. You're like, hey man, blah blah, these guys aren't like really into it. Do you think? And I was like, yeah, sure, because I was always down to like try it podcast and you know do it properly and all that stuff.
How
But
long ago was the first one? The Pornoholics? And
that
all
was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 2016, I think, right?
Pornoholics was 2016.
Yeah. No,
No,
it wasn't
2017. Because
No.
2017.
I remember I started working.
2017, I think it was January something.
It was after I came back from school too. So yeah, 2017 makes sense.
2017.
Yeah, 17. That's
No,
still
it
a while
definitely
ago.
makes sense because I came out 2016
Right.
and I had no cash. So I did some like sketchy shit for a while and then eventually we're in the right spot.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm actually impressed by you, man, because at the beginning, I was for sure, I'm like 100% there's going to be some kind of fucking episode where it just like blows up and then like this whole thing just goes to shit
Host,
or whatever.
Podcast host freaks out.
And like, and not only that, because we
Kills
could just
guests.
delete that. You don't have to upload that, right?
that could be your like way in. That could be like your big episode.
But
Just kill Hector.
Every episode's a meltdown.
I don't want to say I had like a foot out the door, but I was like ready that like if there was any kind of
He
like
had the
bullshit,
prenup ready.
Dude, there
If there's
was
any
so many
bullshit,
fights in the first.
I was gonna bounce because I was gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, all right, sure, this guy's coming in genuine, but if there's any bullshit, I'm done. Like, there's no whatever. And you
Right
fucking,
back in prison, guy.
you've I gotta say, man, you've impressed the shit out of me. So good shit.
It's honestly just about having a sensible mind, man. That's it. But what the fuck is this, man? This guy showed you his penis?
Yeah, let's go back to that.
How are you gonna defend this, man?
There's no defending. You just gotta see
How-
it.
and he's like, oh, you don't want to see an 8.5-inch cock? Yo, do you think we, like straight men, just go walk around and be like, yo, I heard that guy has an 8.5-inch cock.
You,
I
like,
want to
literally-
see
Sure.
it.
You
I
did.
want to
Sure.
see
For
it.
sure, dude. Come on.
Dude, you used
Yo,
to.
for real.
when
For real.
we
Don't
went
lie
to
to
the
me.
swimming
50-50.
pool- When we went to the swimming pool, you'd be like looking at my butt. You're like, yo, no shit.
Huh?
You'd be like looking at my butt. At
Oh,
the
that's
swimming pool.
that's
Oh,
'cause-
that's not
'cause-
gay.
hold
That's
on,
not
that's
gay.
not
Yeah,
gay.
that's not
This is
gay.
why.
And he, like,
Because this
slapped-
guy,
come in,
this
like,
guy. Hold
slapped
on,
me.
hold on.
Wait, you slapped his ass?
No. Me and Emil at a certain point in time, we were spending like almost like 5 days a week together.
Something like that.
Okay, so
Too much.
at this point, you see things in a guy like it's like going to a barber.
Were you
right?
like inspecting him for warts?
No. At a certain point, he was so lower body dominant. I thought this guy had Down syndrome. I was checking this guy's ass for Down.
3 minutes in genetics.
Yeah.
His ass.
No genetics here. I don't think.
No, there's no genetics here. It's a disease, bro. It's like his ass. At a certain point, he was running so much, he was like getting shin splints. His ass was fucking black, bro. He had a black chick's ass.
Dude, man, I should have gotten into sprinting. What can I tell
You
you?
should have gone to gay porn, bro. With ass like that.
You need a cock for that, man.
Yeah, that's where the 8.5-inch cock comes in.
Maybe we're getting
Boom.
there.
Right
Jesus.
there. The family connection.
So you don't want to see an 8.5-inch cock?
Dude, why would I want to
No,
see any cock?
not like a random cock, but like if all of a
that
sudden.
is random.
Okay, what about if our boy here is like tomorrow? It's like, yo, I got a 10-incher on me.
I'll be like,
Part of you's
call
gotta
that
see
girl and
No,
get her
you
to be
called me-
rational.
Here's what happened. You called me like, can you believe this?
Can you believe this shit?
No way.
No way, this is bullshit.
Can you fact check for me?
I pay scaled. Cut that shit out.
Like everything from the 8.5 to now.
Fucking hell.
But you think it's,
So
you
jobs
think it's
are
real?
lost.
It's probably real. Huh?
A lot of stuff. So
Dude, don't drop
Yeah,
his name
yeah,
like that, you
we
dummy.
should- well, no. this-
Cut that out. Instagram
Dr.
post.
Evil's fucked, bro. This guy does like, how many episodes have you done with us?
Like 3?
And then he gets surprised when we post the fucking clips.
Oh my God,
He's like,
dude,
why'd you
honestly.
put the story on there? Why am I on your
Don't
poster
be
child?
blasting me everywhere.
This guy,
You know, it reminds me of when our boy Emil was like, yo, people from work. I'm like, bro, you know how happy you would be if someone from your work were to
I would
stumble
buy
upon this?
Listen,
You'd be happy.
How
I wouldn't.
crazy.
I wouldn't.
if guys from your work or girls from your work, but let's be honest, mostly guys, if guys from your work found out that we're doing the podcast and they're like, yo, watch this guy, we do the podcast.
We've made it.
I would literally come to your work and bring like lunch and
Seriously,
fucking-
that's crazy.
yeah, I would do that.
They would tell you not to come.
No, it's okay.
If they're
It's
listening
okay.
in. They'd
They're
probably
listening.
be happy. Yeah, they'd be like,
They're
hell
probably
yeah.
happy. There's probably some type of connection that they get, whether
Listen,
it
I'm
is
gonna-
or not.
I'm gonna be like Rogan. I haven't to apologize.
Yeah.
No.
What do you got to apologize for, bro?
Aren't you in a startup
this
right
shit's
now? You're not.
loaded,
Yeah,
Loaded,
now
by
it's
the way.
different.
Now it's
Shit's
different.
loaded as fuck. Holy
Now
Jesus.
this motherfucker is fucking ready
Do you,
to
see,
go.
do you see this shit about the apology? Whatever the fuck he's doing?
Hold on, what? The apology, yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is this, man. Like this guy, if it makes sense, because we talked about it before. Emil said he's getting like disbursements, which makes sense. A company like Spotify wouldn't just give him a lump sum.
Oh, for sure.
However,
Imagine that. $350
would
million
you?
Imagine
this-
the tax on that.
Yeah, for sure. But again, he made a smart move. He moved to Texas. There's less tax there. Now, moving on, would you, for the amount that he got, like, let's be honest, anywhere from 50 to 100 mil is something like that, right?
Sure.
Would you not apologize? Like, I would not have pride if I'm getting paid like that.
That's actually a good question.
You know, we're all East, like, pretty much we're all, like, you know, immigrants and shit. So, like, we all have a lot of pride.
Sure.
So this is a big thing. Emil, tell me what you think, buddy.
Yeah, I'd probably do it.
You probably 100% do it.
Yeah.
What are you, Dr. Evil, do you think?
Well, he said the money doesn't mean much past a certain point. And I don't know what number he said, but obviously it's way less than millions of dollars.
Sure.
So why would he be doing it for the money? It doesn't make sense.
I don't think the level
Did he
of...
say this?
I don't think... No. Well, he kind of
He
did.
did
but
it I've seen it in a previous clip.
I didn't see the
unrelated to
apology. I have
this.
no idea. Like,
Oh,
He's
okay.
apologized for trans. He's apologized for COVID. He's apologized for a bunch of stuff. The idea is the concept of podcasting being factual information is stupid. This guy's a comedian. He should have freedom of speech to say whatever. Now, I understand there's people that are taking him seriously and whatnot. He's turning into a somewhat of a religion. But this guy has major errors in how he thinks. And as long as he says that he's wrong, I don't have a problem with it. However, he went from having like decent celebrity, like I would say B celebrity money, to having like absolute fuck you money, right? So there is like, dude, your grandkids are going to be fucking perfect. So I would say sorry every fucking day. I don't give a fuck. There'd be no pride in me.
I mean, he might also like be sincere about it. I mean, people
Yeah,
change.
I
but
doubt that. That
I
seems
doubt
like a big
that, bro.
change in
These
mentality.
guys, you know, top tier guys
Doctor,
like this.
you don't think he was sincere?
No.
I don't think he believes that there's something to apologize for.
What made
Probably
you say that?
not. But
Just like how he phrases apologies, or him as a person, you don't think
Well,
it's
at the beginning,
listening to his podcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what? He's in his 50s now. People are pretty entrenched in how they think at that point. I feel like this is reactionary.
When was he saying this? Like in his 30s?
I haven't.
40s?
I
No,
haven't-
like recent.
Well-
like he would just whenever it would come up.
Let's
if
address.
he's telling a
'cause I thought these
story
were
and someone
old.
else
Let's
says it,
address
he'll
that
use it.
allegation.
One at a time. One at a time.
So the allegations initially were the LGBTQT stuff and workers of Spotify that were LGBTQT complaining and saying we're gonna strike and all that. He said sorry for that. Then it was about COVID, right? And he said I'm sorry for this, and he basically summed it up as in like, oh, whatever. But I think at this point, with the N-word and stuff, the guy, Dr. Evil said it before, the context, if you read the context, if you like understand it, it's not like he was saying it in a discriminatory way. He was literally explaining a quotation of another guy.
Right.
So it's not that bad. But again, I would have no pride in what I say. Like if I'm trying to make a podcast, it's for entertainment purposes. It's not for factual reasons. I'm not the news.
Yeah. I didn't actually see his full I haven't actually I didn't see the full apology.
Apology?
Yeah.
I thought it was from I just skimmed, but I thought it was from a while ago.
Like of old
The
stuff or whatever.
videos?
Like old
Yeah.
videos. I
Yeah,
don't think
it
he would
was.
say it in his new ones.
Like over the last 10 years.
No, it was over the last 10 years. He dropped the N-word
But it
Sure,
a
wasn't-
sure.
1,000
Yeah,
times.
like throughout it.
But
lots
that
of
was way
times.
before Spotify.
I was gonna say that's way.
So why
that's,
does it matter?
That's his YouTube stuff. Although I guess when he signs on with Spotify, it doesn't probably all
Oh,
applies.
yeah, it's like a brand image
Well,
thing.
actually, didn't they when they did the deal, it wasn't just stuff going forward. They assumed his catalog, his whole library.
That's true, but
They bought out the whole library.
maybe because of that technicality they have
Probably,
this.
yeah. Because otherwise,
Again, who gives a fuck? The guy's a comedian. Like you have to put him at the same standard of Joey Diaz. You think Joey Diaz is gonna start apologizing?
yeah. But Joey Diaz isn't getting $300 million deals.
Sure,
Big
absolutely, I understand, but
There's 300
he is
reasons
a
why.
comedian nonetheless. He was a comedian first from everything he's done. He's a comedian first, not even a commentator 1st. So you have to hold him to
Was
that.
he Rogan? Was he a comedian for before?
Absolutely,
Before,
he
like,
was
Fear Factor
like
and
20,
shit?
21 years old. He started doing comedy, bro.
Interesting. How old is he when he started doing Fear Factor? That's the first thing I ever saw.
33 or something. He was old,
Because
bro.
that was after he did UFC first before Fear Factor, I think, right? Because he was UFC 1 even. Almost.
He did interviews with UFC because back in
Yeah.
the day, interview guy and commentator were two different things.
Right.
But this guy's such a gangster, bro. You know when the first Supers came out, the two Jay-Z's or whatever? It was like 1993.
What do you mean supers?
Supra, like Toyota Supra.
Supra. Yeah.
This guy had a Supra in 93, bro.
Who?
Rogan.
Okay.
So let's do quick maths. How old was he in 93?
I don't know how old he is now.
54? 54?
I don't know.
So
I
30?
think it's 50s. Yeah. He was around 30.
It's unreal, bro. This guy had it's the sickest car at such a young age.
But I don't think it was the sick. I mean, it was nice,
Supra?
dude. It's not. it
Two
wasn't some, like-
Jay-Z?
dude,
In
dude,
93?
no one. I mean, yeah, it was nice, but it wasn't some like crazy ass like fucking.
It was a
become-
supercar.
No, it wasn't.
93.
It was not a supercar.
Dude, it was a
back then.
GTR. It was the same line.
What are you talking about, man?
Dude, the two Jay-Z motors is better than the GTR
It's a cult
motor.
following now because you can like put like 1,000 horsepower into it now. But when it came out stock, it wasn't anything like, oh my god,
No, it was.
no, it wasn't, man. Supercar, what the fuck?
Dude, it was the same line as like an NSX.
See that fucking freak out soon.
That's been a year and a half.
Now Hector does jits.
It'll take
Now
more
Hector
than
does
that.
jits.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I get smart.
We'll put him in a gi.
He gets more and more bold.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
After every like jujitsu class,
They just like go in opposite directions. Hector becomes more.
I become more of a coco. This guy becomes like super like fucking logical and like, yo, man, what are you doing?
well,
You gotta take it
actually,
easy.
you're actually
yeah.
wrong there.
Actually.
I can't say I agree with you. Fucking this guy.
That'd be a good switch, actually. That's how we're gonna rebrand this podcast. We just totally switch characters.
You get on the sauce, I start
All of
getting
us, yeah,
fat.
yeah. All of a sudden, I become the guy who's like tilted. I'd love that.
Jesus Christ.
Try that out.
You guys, we all just basically agreed for that
Well-
much money.
Well,
no shit.
Mr.
No,
Dr.
I
Evil
don't
did.
think
Dr. Evil
so.
didn't say. Oh, so you wouldn't for no dollar
I
figure.
mean, I don't know. Would it wouldn't. It depends also on the topic. Because if I say I wouldn't, then people are gonna assume it's related to this particular thing.
Oh,
which
I'll
isn't.
just give you an example. Just like anything that's like hot right now. Like yeah, anything that's like LGBTQ fucking related.
Or anti-COVID or anti-fucking whatever the fuck. Anything that's in the public eye that's you're against as far as majority.
I just don't believe it's sincere. So I would say don't make an insincere apology if it's a money thing. If you're already at that level, like, yeah, okay, 100 million, I guess, but he's well paid already. So
But I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think the point at the beginning was he hasn't got. It's not like he got a lump sum check for like 300 mil.
Imagine he loses all that. I'm sure he still has plenty of money from sponsors and whatever
still
else.
Dude, that'd be huge.
But that's a big, big L.
That's a big loss. Yeah, for
Big
sure.
L just not to say sorry and be sincere. Who
Yeah,
gives a
that's-
shit? It's
Is-
words.
Is it more money what he needs at that point in his life? Imagine you're like in your 50s and you have kids and everything.
I think that.
Aren't you trying to live to set an example at that point? No.
You are though. You are setting
know,
an
I think-
example. Why are you not?
Well, like it's an insincere kind of capitulation. You just if he has some sort of principles he's supposed to be standing on.
But I think you're thinking it's insincere.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but if I'm right that it's insincere, then I would say don't do it.
Regardless if it's insincere, it's meant to be sincere. Is my point. And I think majority of people, maybe lower IQ than you, would probably say it's sincere. I don't think the radar on most people pick up that it's insincere.
Yeah,
That's
How many
sounds-
times can you say sincere
a lot.
in 10
sounds
seconds?
to me like
Listen, my pronunciation's on point.
That was
even
pretty
though
good.
I'm
That
a
was
joint
not,
deep.
That was
son.
not bad. It's not bad.
Sound and be like, Emil, how heavy are you right now?
I haven't weighed myself in like 2
Hector, are you
weeks.
200 something?
Yeah, to something.
Oh damn, do something.
No, I'm like
Hey,
under.
you're like 180 not that long ago, right?
yo, you.
Me? Oh yeah, dude. Like my lowest was 20 end of 2020.
170 something.
End of 2020, I was like 180, like high 170.
When did you? Was it like quick that you just put on?
Yeah,
20?
I
no,
saw-
it was like it was over a year.
I saw titties come out real quick.
No, you didn't. It was
Did I-
over a
hey,
year.
hold on.
That's genetics.
Remember-
So fuck off. with that.
Genetics, but not genetics. I love your titties.
dog?
It's outside.
No, I know.
The weight gain was
She's
over
growling.
basically
She's
a full
growling.
year, all of
Who cares?
2021. That was basically it.
Did I not? Hold on. Remember you told me I was talking shit when I said Hector gained
Some-
weight. So remember I was telling you that this guy gained weight, and you're like, "Why don't you tell it in his face?" Remember that podcast that I sat you down
Did I
and I
say
said
that?
that you gained weight?
Did you say that?
I don't remember saying say it to his face. Wait, I didn't. No, I didn't say anything about you gaining weight. He
No,
said
no, no.
No.
I
no.
said.
Yes, he said. I do remember that episode. That was a
You
good
guys are
episode. Thank
heavy
you.
boys.
Dude, I'm the heaviest, son.
Everyone's 200.
No, I'm not 200.
Almost
I'm
like,
like-
live your life throwing out apologies. All right, sick.
I'm like 145, something like that.
What's you're what 140?
145, something like that.
Nice.
Wow.
Almost.
When was the last time you weighed 145, Emil?
Grade 8, maybe 9.
And this guy's been pretty skinny too. Like Emil's not the
Yeah, in
thickest
high
kid.
well, yeah. I remember. I just remember in grade 12, I hit 167. That was like when I finished high school.
I remember telling this guy that we went out one night and I was wearing this shirt. I told him I wore it to my grade 7 graduation.
Was that true?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
But you're saying like it was a lie. I'm like, I
still wear
believe
it.
you.
No,
Oh man,
I still have it.
that's funny though. Listen, the stuff
The
that
blue
was
one, right? The light
No,
blue.
it's white and it's got like black thin stripes on it. It's a nice shirt.
Oh, I don't
Send it
remember.
on Telegram.
But yeah, I
Send on
wore it
Telegram.
for like elementary school graduation.
the funny thing is that
It's kind of big on me back then.
the stuff that was
Fair enough. Fair enough.
fair enough, but the stuff that was big on me in like grade 8 no longer even fits, bro. I put on a like a 17 and a half dress shirt and it didn't fit.
How big's your fucking neck?
Bro, neck's fucking 18 and a half, 19, son.
Fucking
Thick
big neck.
Thick
Yeah,
neck,
that's a
thick
thick
cock.
You measure your neck?
Yeah, bro. Well, you don't. That's like saying you measure your cock, but you don't measure your neck. How important is your neck?
I don't know. I don't measure it.
Dude, you need to get back to fundamentals
Dude,
and
I just need
straighten
my
up.
fingers to work. That's
This
it.
guy has the fattest neck in the world. Literally,
Does he really?
the only thing that happened with this guy when
Fat
he worked
neck,
out,
fat
he got
butt.
fat
Fat fuck.
neck and a more of a downsy ass, bro. His ass just turned like
What is
Africa.
a downsy ass? Can you
Bro,
explain it to me?
it's a dumper, bro. It's a fucking
Damn,
pure
bro.
dumper. This guy, he had an absolute fucking badonk.
Sorry, I gotta turn this off.
Yeah, you do.
Yo,
Put on the other screen because I can't.
I will.
see.
I will.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. Okay, I got two things for you guys,
Just send it back to back. There you go.
and I have I might have a third right here, but this third one, Hector, remember a long time ago I was telling you these Chinese fucking people have legitimate technology when they go home.
What do you mean?
Dude, they have some crazy shit at their house, son. They got this crazy technology, bro. They press 13 fucking buttons and suddenly all their chores for the week are done, son.
I mean,
Remember I was telling you? You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I still
what
know
are you
what you're talking
fucking
about.
talking about? Right? I'm going to send you some shit that you're going to like, your balls are literally going to
Rudy
explode.
Giuliani or what?
Looks
Okay.
like
is opposed to the Great Reset, because the Great Reset is a policy based on taking away national sovereignty. The whole idea that, as it was drafted by people like Larry Fink of BlackRock, Mark Carney, the former director of the Bank of England, Klaus Schwab, Prince Charles, the whole idea of the Great Reset is take away from governments the power to invest in their own economy. And the reason they're trying to do that is because there's such a huge debt overload on the whole world. The world is drowning in debt. The biggest banks are holding trillions of dollars of worthless financial instruments. And they're trying to figure out how to keep the situation going with liquidity. But that's what's triggering inflation. And so they move to the next phase. The Great Reset basically says that central banks will take over not only currency and credit policy, monetary policy, but also spending policy, fiscal policy. In other words, the central banks, who are really arms of the biggest private banks and financial institutions, are going to be given the power that used to be in the hands of elected legislatures.
It's a banker's dictatorship, as you talked about before.
Yeah, a
Central banker's dictatorship.
Yeah.
And Putin is like, hell no, this is not, we should all be, hell no, this is not what we want. So Putin's fighting it. And so it's just convenient to go after Putin, because they're going after China, they're going after Putin, they're going after all sorts of, but it's convenient is what you're saying.
Well, it's not just convenient, it's essential for them, because you saw what happened at the COP26 conference in Glasgow. The Great Reset is directly connected with the Green New Deal. The idea that we're going to hollow out manufacturing, we're going to shut down energy efficiency, we're going to stop investing in advanced technologies, and we're going to turn the whole world basically into something that looks like sub-Saharan Africa.
All right. So, what do you guys think about this?
Have you guys have you guys heard about the radio? I surprisingly found out about this during Christmas, a bit early. No, after a couple weeks after. My parents had some friends over, and they were just like catching up. I haven't seen them in a couple of years, and you know, when you catch up with people you haven't seen in a few years, like the first top 3 topics you talk about is like COVID, and like
some conspiracy.
Some no, not conspiracy. People don't just generally don't talk about conspiracy. That's actually pretty like far fetched. You don't just bring that up out of nowhere. Like, hey man, did you hear that JFK didn't actually, whatever, he's still alive?
Oh, dude,
no,
you're hanging out with the wrong people.
Yeah, you gotta get more mechanic Deans in your life.
I forget how we got to it, but the guy actually mentioned, and this is like one of my dad's friends, right? So not a close friend, but like one of his friends, and he's like, he mentioned this Great Reset, and I was like, it sounds ridiculous, and then I looked it up, and it is actually legit. I don't know well enough to explain whether what this guy's saying is correct or not, but you can look it up, and it's well publicized. It has to do with I think it's like World Bank or something. There's a
central bank.
No, it's not that. It's not what you. It's not like one central bank, but it's like a consortium of like powerful banks around the world. They just like, it's like a think tank almost. These guys like get together.
There's more than one central bank in the world, Hector.
No, but it's not like the central
he was
bank.
Saying it was central bank that was supposed to get like fiscal policy decisions. Now.
That's what he's saying, but
supposedly, I don't know.
So the Great Reset. What I mean to say is like it's not hidden. It's not like this isn't some like hidden agenda.
No, this isn't.
If you look it up, it's
pretty open.
Here it is. World Economic Forum. That's what it was. So the World Economic Forum is like basically a collection of bankers, politicians, people that just get together and discuss like fiscal policy for like the world. Every fucking, I don't know how often. Let's see. World Economic Forum. These guys, yeah. So international, non-governmental, and lobbying organization based in Geneva. And they get together, I think it's like every year, every 2 years or something, and they just discuss like general like world policy and ideas. And the recent one that got kind of high profile because they've published it. You can literally look, and it's on their website right here. World Economic Forum, The Great Reset. So they themselves have explained what it is. This is their plan. Here, I'll bring it up on this.
I can't see.
This is from their website, from the World Economic Forum. The plan is actually called The Great Reset, and I think the idea behind it is that because of the COVID crisis, they want to kind of like reset the world economy because it's so shitty. Whether it's like supply chain stuff, people not working,
what that means.
bunch of stuff. What does what mean?
I don't even know how this came up, but also I've never heard of this. And that guy sounded really suspect.
Yeah, but he did. But then this isn't. This is fully legit. It's a real thing.
What does that mean? Reset the economy?
To where it was
think they're
pre-pandemic.
Redistribute funds to people or something?
In a
Is
way,
this like a Bolshevik revolution calling or something?
No. Okay, let me see if I can read us some like summary stuff here. It all sounds very like fluffy. So
It sounds like it's to control inflation or something, to bring it under control.
that's exactly what it's about.
okay. I'll read what
Inflation and debt.
I'll read what the people who've actually put this out
Okay,
are saying it is, and then we'll compare that with what the guy said.
Okay.
So the context. The COVID-19 crisis and the political, economic, and social disruptions it has caused is fundamentally changing the traditional context for decision making. The inconsistencies, inadequacies, and contradictions of multiple systems, from health and financial to energy and education, are more exposed than ever amidst a global context of concern for lives, livelihoods, and the planet. Leaders find themselves at a historic crossroads, managing short-term pressures against medium and long-term uncertainties. And then their next bulletin is like the opportunity. As we enter a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insights to help inform all those determining the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of a global commons. Drawing from the vision and vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities, the Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being.
Okay, I
Yeah, I don't get it 0 out of that.
It's very like top
Okay,
level fluffy.
hold
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
Can I
It's
link
like
this?
it's
Can I link this into something a little bit interesting? So what's going on right now with have you guys heard about what's going on in China with the whole society credit score, social credit
It's
score?
been around for a few years.
All
but
right,
sure.
sure. So they were talking about this in 2017, how it's
Mhm,
up and
mhm.
running in
Yeah.
2017. Okay, so what did that just say? Can you go back to that? What? Go to the bottom right. Go to the opportunity right there. So build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. So to me, when I read that, it kind of goes hand in hand with what China is doing right now. And we're not far
Surveillance?
off. We're not far off from
We're
them.
pretty far, I think.
No,
still
no,
from China.
now we are. But again, like nobody. Last time we talked about COVID, you said that you don't have any more predictions because usually you're wrong.
Okay.
So I could easily see this getting implemented here within the next 3 to 4 years.
The social score?
The social score, because of this, they will be like, okay, there will be a give and a take. The give will be more people will have the opportunity to own land and so on and so forth and be better off economically. However, there is going to be this aspect because they're going to be like, okay, well, this person maybe can't financially afford or has the opportunity, but they have a good social credit score. Therefore, they can uphold the loan or whatever they need.
What does that say? There are three main components. Just
Yeah.
something concrete,
This is the part right
but
here.
I have
Here,
no
here's
idea what these.
this is
people
what
are
you want to
talking
read. So this is what. Do you guys want to read, or I can read out loud?
Can you read it? Because I can't
Yeah.
see.
This guy.
The Great Reset agenda would have three main components, and this is from the World Economic Forum. The first would steer the market toward fairer outcomes. To this end, governments should improve coordination, for example, in tax, regulatory, and fiscal policy, upgrade trade agreements, and create the conditions for a, quote, stakeholder economy. At a time of diminishing tax bases and soaring public debt, governments have a powerful incentive to pursue such action. Moreover, governments should implement long overdue reforms that promote more equitable outcomes. Depending on the country, these may include changes to wealth taxes, the withdrawal of fossil fuel subsidies, and new rules governing intellectual property, trade, and competition. The second component of a Great Reset agenda would ensure that investments advance shared goals, such as equality and sustainability. Here, the large-scale spending programs that many governments are implementing represent a major opportunity for progress. The European Commission, for one, has unveiled plans for a €750 billion recovery fund. The US, China, and Japan also have ambitious economic stimulus plans. Rather than using these funds, as well as investments from private entities and pension funds, to fill the cracks in the old system, we should use them to create a new one that is more resilient, equitable, and sustainable in the long run. This means, for example, building green urban infrastructure and creating incentives for industries to improve their track record on environmental, social, and governance metrics. The third and final priority of a Great Reset agenda is to harness the innovations of the fourth industrial revolution to support the public good, especially by addressing health and social challenges. During the COVID-19 crisis, companies, universities, and others have joined forces to develop diagnostics, therapeutics, and possible vaccines, establish testing centers, create mechanisms for tracing infections, and deliver telemedicine. Imagine what could be possible if similar concerted efforts were made in every sector.
What do you think?
I think there's a very important context. This plan was put together literally the month after COVID became a thing. So this article that we're reading now was published June 2020, which means whatever plan they were putting together was probably took place in the months prior to that. And we'll remember that COVID started for us here in North America March 2020. So that's why you'll hear terms like possible vaccines. We're already like well into this, right?
Yeah.
So all of this was even like you guys might remember how bad it felt during like when it first started, like the markets took a huge shit.
Huge.
The world really did think that this was going to be like terrible. Like there were no anti-vaxxers back then because first there's no ideas to even have a vaccine. Like the whole thing actually felt really, really bad back then. So I think that context is important to think about when you kind of frame this into like why they came up with this.
It kind of sounds like a social studies paper by like a student or something. It's mostly lofty, intangible stuff.
Well, if you want, I could send you the 100-page report, but I don't think we want to read that.
Well, yeah.
All right, Warren Buffett with the reports. Relax.
I don't know.
Right? Well, like Vic's like, okay, let's.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
yeah.
man. What's
Dude.
the minute?
Here, I'll tell you.
What's the minute?
3450. 3450.
This guy's got notes.
Yeah, it's just timestamps whenever we say Dr. Evil's name.
Or the N-word.
Yeah, either or. Don't want to make
The
apologies.
minutes. What's the fucking
Fuck. Yeah, like
2 pages of
you say like social studies paper, but like I mean, how do you just
Sure,
sum
they have
up
to,
like
overview it
yeah, you
somehow.
have to like what are you gonna like just publish out like graphs? What I don't know.
Is it like I don't know if you heard about it more, but is it like what the guy was saying in the video
That's what I don't.
where they're like removing the ability to set fiscal policy from the government and putting in the hands of? Is that what it like? the
Well,
major
generally,
That's-
it was talking
Because
about
that's what he's saying.
giving
Central
ha-
bank dictatorship, right?
Yeah,
Because
So-
then they would have the ability to control spending completely, and they're unelected.
that's the fear. So what's been published is what I've read so far. Like that's
That's
like
as far as you know as well?
That's what they're saying. That's as far as I know. From what because I've heard people like talk about like conspiracies and stuff, like the Great Reset and all this stuff. But I'm like, I always laugh when I hear that. I'm like, it's not a conspiracy. That's the name of the fucking like
Would
plan.
government allow that to happen?
They would have to let it happen. But
That's
the
what I
thing
mean.
is, I think people are putting too much weight on what the World Economic Forum is, right? The World Economic Forum isn't some like policy setting
They're just like
thing.
Nobody.
suggestions, right?
Nobody buddies.
No, they're not nobody buddies. They're like legit people. You're talking like world leaders, heads of financial institutions around the world. But it's like a club. It's like if we got together and so like it's not like we're deciding anything today or like we're implementing anything tomorrow. We're just talking. We're like
Just
shooting the
plans
shit.
or whatever, and they
Yeah.
think that this will work.
They
and
shoot the
can
shit and
suggest-
exactly,
okay.
and they kind of come up with ideas, and then they'll have these things that come out, and whether they act on it. I mean, there's too many countries involved in this where it's like everyone to like do it at the same time. This guy and people around these like I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory, but behind this idea of like oh my god, central bank, I think are putting too much importance on who and what the World Economic Forum is. They're not going to set policy for the world. They're not a central bank, right? They're just a club of people. Is
Those
what it is.
people he mentioned were just people that
Participate.
advocated for it or something.
Well, yeah, because what did he mention?
like
What is
Prince
it?
Charles or something.
Yeah.
is one
They're
of
all Prince Charles started. I
them.
think
I just remember him.
Prince Charles was one of the heads, not the heads, but he was one of the people that started the World Economic
he was a
Forum.
fucking head.
There was by German engineer, but I remember Prince Charles was part of this. Charles. Oh, didn't spell Charles right. Charles.
Charles.
Prince Charles. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, Prince Charles pushed forward this idea of the
Prince
Great Reset.
Charles,
The older one.
Queen's husband, or
The one
I
that
guess
gets pegged
No,
on
he's
Sundays.
not alive anymore.
No, he's alive.
No, he's alive.
Wait,
It's-
who's the
Oh,
Queen's?
that guy, yeah.
This guy, bro.
I thought it was Charles.
I can't see.
Yeah, this guy. That's Charles, no?
This is Charles.
Didn't he die?
No, bro.
No, the other guy died.
Other
Much
guy
older.
dead.
Oh, I got it mixed up.
Yeah. I forget what his name is because it's the queen's husband. No
So
one cares
isn't
about him.
this guy Diana's age?
What? Diana
No.
died.
No,
Dude, you with
he's-
the death, man.
Oh no, no,
Jesus, relax.
they weren't
I
married.
know.
They weren't married. They were.
No, he
dead.
died.
No,
They-
she was married
Al Qaeda, he
to
died.
Charles.
Oh.
She was married to Charles.
Oh,
Yeah,
she was
so they
married
are
to
the
Charles.
same age, probably.
No, no,
No,
he was
she was
older. He was
younger.
older
Like,
because
what, how
because
much, 10
Tr-
years?
Diana was his second wife. Remember, he had an older like
Oof.
I had no idea.
wife or whatever.
People's Magazine, relax.
Dude, this was like literally when it happened, like the biggest news of all time.
We weren't even alive.
We weren't even.
It,
How would you know how
my
big
parents, like whenever the fucking anniversary would come up, be like, "Oh shit, Prince Diana or whatever." It was huge.
Mijo, that was the biggest
It
news
was
of
it
all
was,
time.
it was huge, yeah. Because for a while they were still doing like anniversary things on the news.
Mijo.